Hi. Let's talk about accumulators. Accumulators, as defined in Bundleverse, and being devices for you, means for you to track your progress across different missions continuously. Let's jump straight into the Bundleverse. Click on the design page, scroll down to the timer table. You see on the left here features I'm logging through this mission, and on the right hand before plus minus buttons you see the dimensions of the accumulator. Click on the plus button to add a new feature, then on the extreme right cell click on the accumulator and you see 12 dimensions of the accumulator. You may think of them as the dimensions of the self, which define a person, or you may think of them as a fairly general class of activities you might be engaged in. And the key point here about accumulator is that those classes do not change with time, and each item from this list can be linked, can be associated with one of the features. Okay. So when I enter a new feature here, I can link this feature to one of those dimensions of the accumulator, and those dimensions do not change across the missions, while the features may change. Let me give you a specific example. Let's take fitness, for example. This fitness activity is linked to the physical activity, meaning that every time when I look fitness hours, the same amount of hours are added to the fitness dimension, to the physical dimension, of the accumulator. Now let's assume next time I decide that this general class fitness is too broad, too general. I would like to narrow down and specify some specific activities here like swimming, running, and cycling. In the next mission I get rid of the fitness activity as a feature, and instead I have new 3 features, swimming, running, and cycling. What happens now is that the fitness record gets interrupted, and the new records start with completely different names and quite a different meaning. But if I would like to keep some continuous record of my achievements in terms of my fitness activities, as long as I as I link those new features like swimming, running, and cycling, I link them to this physical dimension of the accumulator, I will be able to track my progress continuously. The way it happens is that whenever now in a new mission I log my time against swimming, for example, the same time will be added to the physical dimension of the accumulator. And it will be added to those numbers which I have accumulated through all the previous missions. You see? Now, with the accumulator, I can track my progress in terms of my physical activity continuously in time. Those features on the left can change, the names can change, the meaning can change, but this physical activity and the time I allocated to improve my fitness and physical shape, it will be continuing to grow. It's kind of an abstraction layer you put on top of those individual features, which enables you to keep your records continuous across the missions. Okay, let's get rid of the last line here, and let's go back to the mission page and click on the profile and the accumulator link over there, and you'll be redirected to the page, which looks like this. The bottom plot here shows the time accumulated through various missions I ran in the past up to the present moment. And as you see here, horizontal axis is again those dimensions of the accumulator or dimensions of the self, or if you like, you may think of them as a classes of different activities I've been engaged. And the vertical axis is scale at time, which been allocated for those different activities. So if you have another person, another person will have a different distribution of this time, of course, because he may spend more time on social activities, less time on physical activities, etc. This distribution by itself, it's specific to a particular person. It's a characteristic of that person. You may think of them analogous to what we have when we measure, when we talk about genes, when we talk about phenotype. Here we have time. Maybe a more appropriate name would be chronotype. I don't know. Anyway, the colors here is to highlight analogy we have here with a physical process. When you shine a light on a prism, on a crystal, it gets decomposed into the spectrum, the spectral decomposition of light. You got sunlight, it's passing through the crystal, you got different spectral components. And somewhat analogously here, if you think about this, about mission as a crystal, about your life, your time, as a light, you are passing through this mission. And once you complete your mission, you get a decomposition of your time into those components. Now we have, it's not frequencies here, it's dimensions of the self, but somewhat similar idea. I know the idea is probably a little bit far-fetched, but I guess it may make it easier for you to remember what that accumulator is about. And I think having known this distribution is interesting and might be useful, because time is one of those precious and the most valuable probably resources everybody is given upon birth for free. Do whatever you like with that resource, and many people have no idea where this resource goes and how they manage it. Another point here also to make is that if we have many people passing through those missions and having these distributions established, we may think every such distribution is defined by, we have 12 numbers here which define the height of those bars. And you may think of those 12 numbers as one single dot point in a 12-dimensional space given by those dimensions, environmental, physical, and so on. If we have many people running through those missions, we can populate this 12-dimensional space with many more dot points. And once we have enough dot points, we may start seeing some patterns, some statistical relationships between this data. There could be some attraction points, which with a higher density of points, there could be some areas which are much less populated for some reasons. There could be some points which you get there and you get teleported somewhere else in a completely different region. I don't know, it's a new space, it's completely unexplored space, unknown so far, and underpopulated at this point. And it's a very interesting space with a huge number with various applications. I believe there could be some regions with a specific set of being where you anyway, I'll leave it here. Just one final comment to make here is that analyzing this space could be a challenge by itself. 12 dimensions, it's quite a lot. As a first step towards these directions, on the view page, click on projections, and we have a dimension reduction tools. You select your timer database, and you have different means of the dimension reduction, which is projection from 12-dimensional space to the lower dimensional spaces, so that if there are any clusters, any patterns in this data, you may start seeing them and analyzing them with a naked eye. And of course, in our case, we just have just 5 points here. Nothing, you cannot see anything from these limited data sets. The star, by the way, here means your dot point, your accumulator here shown, and the rest are accumulators representing different people running through the missions. And that's it. I think that's all I wanted to share with you in this talk. Thank you very much for your time. Take care. Bye.